If you told me 10 years ago that I'd be speaking at a panel in a branding workshop and sharing the experience here on YouTube, I simply wouldn't have believed you. Back then, I avoided being seen. I wasn't confident in who I was, and the thought of public speaking made me shrink. But now that I'm grown, I can see how the past 6 years of creating content online gave me the confidence to use my own voice, share my story, and step into rooms like this one. And today, I want to help you do the same. In this video, I'm sharing my best public speaking tips for coaches and online business owners who want to add speaking to their brand and their services. You also see behind the scene clips of my own speaking engagement so you can learn how to apply these strategies in your business. So tip number 1, you gotta prepare with intention. You've probably heard the phrase, if you fail to prepare, then prepare to fail. And it's true. For me, preparation isn't just about what I will say, but it's about who I would want to be in the room. For this panel, I chose 3 words: powerful, authoritative, and relatable. That guided my entire preparation. I invested in a suit dress, got my makeup done, and arrived early to capture clips before the room filled up. I also prepared my talking points by reflecting on my personal brand story and choosing what parts persons would resonate with more for the purpose of this brand training. But here's the real secret. The best preparation is always mental. Days before the event, I reminded myself, Leon, you deserve to be in this room. You have something powerful to say. And no matter what question comes, you already have the knowledge inside you to answer it. And here's how this preparation came to life.
Something different has to happen. Talk to us about that.
So much color, good afternoon, everyone. It's so refreshing to see so many beautiful faces in one room. My name is Leon, as Carla would have mentioned. I really started my journey as an attorney at law. I was 23 years old, like a court bar, and I would have worked in corporate for a few years, and then I decided to explore other avenues. For me, it was really more of being open to experiment and to try new things. So I joined a volunteer club, and I was appointed as a director, and one of my roles were to send out marketing materials and advertise the club events. And I remember from that voluntary role, so many people actually showed up to the events, and persons were actually now asking me to help them with their marketing and their content, etc. And again, when I started my business, I had no intention that this would be an international business that it is right now. It was really started off more as an experiment. I really just gave myself an opportunity to explore, right? I remember my contract coming to an end and really being in the process of sending out resumes to a whole bunch of legal firms. Once anybody was hiring, I was that person. I wake up first thing in the morning, and my job was just to send out as many resumes as possible. And back then, looking back, I was smiling because I kept asking, why isn't no one picking me? Why isn't anyone choosing me? I sent out over 200 resumes. Sometimes I go back to my Gmail and I said, what are the odds? I sent out hundreds of resumes, right? Not an interview, not a call back. Maybe I do get an interview, maybe I can get a call back, right? But it's just not successful. Eventually, again, as I said, I really just started exploring, giving myself that opportunity to try something new. I realized, okay, communicating has always been one of my strengths. Persons would always compliment me, whether it's oral or whether it's written, and they really like my communication style. So then I used the university of Google, and I said, what are some careers that are centered around communicating? And marketing was one of those first careers. So I said, okay, let me try this, And that's the time back there.
Because I was just about to ask.
Yeah,
so you did the groundwork, or you did the work that you believed that was necessary to excel.
Yeah.
What was the point? How did it feel? And what was the point where you said, I I need to take control of this. I need to develop my personal brand. I need to do something different or if I'm actually going to make it in this thing forward.
Yeah, so to answer your question and to tie it back, right? I feel just like what Jamila said, I feel like so many of us come out into the working world and you have this spirit of entitlement because you have a degree, because you're an attorney, because you're a doctor, because you have initial after your name. A job has to call you back, right? But that entitlement gets us nowhere. So I said, if I'm not going to get the opportunities, it's my job to create the opportunities. I can sit on my hand, I can say, woe is me, I can feel sorry for myself, or I can decide that, you know what? I have exactly what it takes, right? I can create my own table, I can create my own opportunity, and I think that was the turning point for me to create my own business and really be that driving seat of my finances and my life, and create my own table where I get to invite people in versus waiting to be invited at a table. So,
Oh my God, I love it. I love the table analogy. On brand. You know, you have your brand colors, you have your brand voice, you have your tone, everything, right? What was it like for you developing that, and how do you stay consistent? How do you not, what do they call it, shiny object syndrome? How do you know this is the direction that I want to stay on? How have you done such a great job over the couple of years in terms of managing, establishing and managing?
yeah, so with regards to developing your brand, I'm going to touch on that first. So let's say you're here and maybe you have a business, you have a skill, and you're not really sure where to start, how to develop your brand. So many times when we think about brand, we think about aesthetic. You know, we're in the Instagram world, we're in the TikTok, the LinkedIn, we like things that look good, we like to look good. Alright, so while the aesthetic, or what we call the brand identity, has a part to play, so colors, logos, all of that, really think about how do you want people to feel. What are the names or the words that you want to be associated with when someone calls your name in a room and you are not there? What do you want them to say about you? Do you want them to say that you are professional? Do you want them to say that you are fun? Do you want them to say that you are knowledgeable? Do you want them to say that you are caring? What are the words that you want persons to say whenever they call your name, especially when you are not into it? Once you get clear on that, then you want to ensure that everything that you put out into the world, social media and in-person events like that, are in alignment with those words and how you want persons to feel. So just knowing those things really helped me with developing my brand, like really starting from how do you want every time someone gets or interact with you through a post in person interaction, what are the emotions that you want them to walk away with, right? Because as it stands right now, we all have a brand. Whether your brand is intentional, whether you are the innovator or not, that's a different story. But all of us here, when we leave, somebody might say something about you. Whether it's positive, whether it's negative, whether it's neutral, right? You want to be in control of that story. And that's what developing that personal brand really starts off like. You deciding, anybody love to watch Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Netflix business, right? And we have watched one of those shows, like for example, You with Joe Goldberg, and he does such a good job narrating, right? So you ever want to show and just meet a really good narrator, so that the show is being developed based on their perspective. That's all building a personal brand is. Deciding that you are going to develop your own show based on your own perspective. Not your mom's, not your co-worker, not your boss, not your kid, nobody. You get to actually be the narrator of your story. Alright, so that's the first step.
I think that women find it so difficult to charge their worth, to put themselves out there, to build themselves up to that level where they feel confident to charge of their worth as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, when I think about pricing and women charging their services, I've noticed a common recurring theme that centers around the ease of the service compared to the price. I think growing up as women, we believe that everything needs to be difficult. Everything needs to be a challenge. Everything we need to strive, we need to carry on our back, we need to have blood, sweat, and tears. And then we dive into business where you get to do a service that comes naturally to you, that you can do in a matter of minutes, hours, or even days. And I think because it becomes so easy to all of us, we equate that with its value, right? So yes, definitely, I agree with Jamila's sentiment with regards to not doing our work. But I believe also that for several years, we tied the worth of things with how difficult it is, right? More than likely, you may have done a degree, and the degree you were up to all-nighters, you were sweating, you were crying with your friends from school, and then you dive into business, and you're good at finance, you're good at marketing, you're good at career coaching, and it comes so easy, so natural to you. So in your head, you're saying, well, I shouldn't charge much for this because it came so natural to me. So I think sometimes to overcome that, what we could do is really equate the transformation or the result or the value of our service and then charge based on what is the lifelong value that this client or this person will get when they master what it is I am going to teach them. I think that's it.
Now, one of the biggest lessons that I've learned about public speaking is that it's not just about the stage or the panel, it's really about the people that you meet. Every event is an opportunity to connect with your next client, collaborator, or supporter. That's why I always block off time to network before the event, during the event, and after the event. Don't rush out of the room. Instead, go deeper than small talk. Focus on real conversations and exchange contacts with intention. Those connections will often outlast the event itself. So let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about public speaking? Is this something you want to do more of this year? From my own journey, I can tell you that creating content online is what helped me to become a stronger and more confident public speaker. And I believe it can do the same for you. If you would like to learn more about how we can work together and create content that opens doors for your business, check out the description below and book a free consultation call to learn more. Thank you for watching this week's YouTube video, and I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to like and subscribe so I will know that you are loving this style of video as well.